Authentic Leadership Rediscovering the Secrets to Creating Lasting Value by Bill George Book Review. Hello friends, today I am going to review the book, Authentic Leadership, Rediscovering the Secrets to Creating Lasting Value by Bill George. The Need for Trust. American society owes a big debt of gratitude to the scoundrels at Enron and WorldCom. They called our entire corporate governance system into question. They scandalized millions with their misdeeds. Thieves and rogues have been part of every generation of capitalism in the United States, but this time around they don't seem to be any different than most managers, just richer. Leading an organization, large or small, is not an easy task. It can be lonely at times. Enron and WorldCom showed us just how well justified today's breakdown of trust in business is. Yet our economic system depends on trust. Is that now shaky ground? Alas, even the best corporate executives seem to lack conviction about ethics. Intel's Andy Grove recently said, "I find myself embarrassed and ashamed to be a businessman." The malaise is so widespread that even a promising executive at Medtronic, a company very much unlike the ne'er-do-wells who have made so many headlines, a company that Bill George led and helped build, nonetheless found himself reluctant to tell people that he was an executive. The shareholder situation. The problem isn't managers, though. It's shareholders. Enron and WorldCom proved to managers that today's emphasis on shareholder value is excessive and misplaced. Yes, paying closer attention to shareholder value helped make companies more efficient and competitive. But free options grants made source rich, and many senior managers feathered their own nests by selling options just before their companies collapsed. Most people want to become leaders without giving much thought to their purpose. It would not be fair to put all of the blame on shareholders. The general public deserves some of the blame, too. The public made heroes out of scalawags and allowed wealth and power to dazzle its eyes. Mother Teresa is a compelling example of an authentic leader. Enron and WorldCom teach us that if companies select senior managers mainly because they're good at pushing the stock price up, shareholders shouldn't be surprised when they do everything in their power to do just that. If the markets demand that executives exploit every opportunity to increase shareholder value, then stockholders shouldn't be surprised if these executives stretch the law or look for opportunities within loopholes in the law to achieve stock market goals. The authentic leader. Leading a big company is not easy. It's lonely at the top. True leadership can only begin when the leaders look deep into themselves and see who they really are, and if they really want to be leaders. Many people strive to become leaders without developing any great sense of purpose. They want the wealth, status and prestige that come with leadership. The corner office, the seat at the board table, the stock options, the corporate jet, the flattering sycophants. They are willing to do anything they have to do to put up any front and present any pretense necessary to make the impression that will win favor and advance their careers. There is a better way to run a company than getting caught up in the short-term game. But this is not leadership. No, real leadership is honest, true, deeply insightful and reflective, purposeful and motivated by high ideals, thorough self-knowledge, uncompromising standards and unyielding virtue. Leaders must be true to themselves. That's very difficult to do unless you know who you are and what you aspire to be. Relationship is the mirror in which we see ourselves as we are. If we examine organizations that are highly customer-focused, they are usually headed by leaders with real passion for serving the company's customers. Leadership style grows out of character. There's no point in trying to adopt the leadership style of George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. It would be as ridiculous as dressing in the same clothes. Instead, emulate their characters. Authentic leaders have 5 key traits. 1. They know why they do what they do, and they have a strong sense of purpose. 2. They have firm values. 3. They lead with and from the heart. 4. They build relationships that connect them with others and others with each other. 5. They discipline themselves. Transformation. Hard experiences can be the best teachers. Bill George's wife Penny's bout of breast cancer helped bring out the best in her, even though it involved a radical mastectomy, months of chemotherapy and years of hormonal therapy. She went on an inspiring vision quest in Utah, fasting and meditating in the desert to try to figure out her purpose. With the resolution this gave Penny, she's been a better person ever since. Lance Armstrong, the famous cyclist, said that his experience with cancer gave him the determination to become a better husband and father and to win the Tour de France for 4 years. He even wrote a book to inspire other people with cancer. In reality, being a successful competitor in business is at the heart of leadership, just as it is in politics, athletics, academia, and the arts. You can't be a good leader if you don't go through the test of hardship and difficulty. Author George said his pain at the deaths of his mother and fiancé helped teach him the meaning of life. Balance. A balanced life is important. It can help you become a better leader because it helps make you more human. People who let business and corporate affairs dominate their entire life expect others to do the same. This isn't reasonable, humane, or realistic. It isn't even healthy. Don't be ashamed or hesitant to have a family life, a religious life, and a workplace life. Having all of these aspects in your life does not mean you have to be a different person in each dimension. On the contrary, be authentically yourself in every dimension. If you try to be anything but true to yourself, the pressure will kill you. Authenticity at the company. The marks of authenticity in a company are like the marks of authenticity in an individual leader. They include: 1. The authentic company has a mission and a vision. 2. It articulates values that support the mission and vision. 3. It has a heart, which empowers workers in the cause of customer service. 4. It has relationships that cement and strengthen the organization. 5. It has the discipline of results, not just for a few, but for all stakeholders. Acquisitions can be a powerful and immediate way to transform, strengthen, and build an enduring organization. Money doesn't motivate people. People are motivated by having a mission and a genuine sense of purpose. Medtronic achieved great things and delivered superlative shareholder value by focusing not on numbers but on mission. Paradoxically, focusing solely on shareholder value may destroy shareholder value. Enron focused on shareholder value and lost its perspective on other priorities. In contrast, Medtronic focused on employees and customers. In the long run, that proved to be a much more productive focus. Medtronic's mission was not to increase shareholder value but to alleviate pain, restore health, and extend life. That proved to be a mission that employees could believe in and support. Values. The values of an authentic company include telling the truth, being open, being democratic, and being both diverse and respectful. Such companies base their actions upon exercising these values in a consistent, service-oriented way. We just have to be patient until the stars align. Glenn Nelson. For values to become intrinsic to a corporation, its leaders must walk the talk. They must model, not merely preach, the values. Of course, from time to time there may be a tension between honoring your company's values and achieving the performance results that external constituencies demand. This tension is not a trade-off. The job of the authentic company and the authentic leader is to achieve business results with and through the practice of its values. Among the most important values of any authentic company is, of course, a focus on the customer. Serving customers, not sharing them, is the path to success. The CEO can't do it alone. It may be lonely at the top, but that doesn't mean that a CEO can do the job alone. Building a great company takes teamwork. Think of David Packard and Bill Hewlett, or Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, or John Whitehead and John Weinberg of Goldman Sachs. Great teams are the foundation of great companies. At the end of the day, what is more important than joy, fulfillment, and love? When Bill George became CEO of Medtronic, he immediately began to seek people who could form the strong team the company needed. This meant giving more responsibility to his best performers, and getting rid of people who could not accept him as leader. He also took care to transform his working relationships into team relationships, instead of boss-subordinate relationships. Having said that, it is important to make the numbers every quarter. He took a different tack with respect to diversity, recognizing that management has to be diverse, but that diversity is not just a matter of filling out quotas. Instead, diversity means a wide and varied spectrum of ideas and perspectives. Authentic leaders have the courage to cultivate that kind of actual diversity. The bottom line. What's the bottom line? There are several, really. Two of the most important are the bottom line for customers and the bottom line for shareholders. But one depends on the other. If the company doesn't put customers first, it will also shortchange shareholders. No business can sustain value creation without meeting and exceeding customer expectations. There is also a bottom line for governance. Ethical conduct and authenticity ought to be the uncompromising standards by which boards measure the performance of the companies they oversee. Of course, companies have to deliver financial results and meet analysts' expectations. But managers cannot allow themselves to get caught in the trap of encouraging unrealistic expectations and then destroying their firms in a foolish attempt to meet them. Many people complain about corporate scandals. Few people really do what needs to be done to rectify them. Instead of expressing shock, the business community should feel educated by the events of the past 2 years and should recognize that a narrow, short-term focus on the stock market, coupled with an immoral managerial ethos, is destructive to human beings and human society. Authentic leaders follow the advice of sages, advice that is as relevant today as it was when the first scribes began to record the insights of aged teachers. Authentic leaders. 1. Know themselves. 2. Act with integrity. 3. Ask no more of others than they demand of themselves. 4. Do what is right, not what is expedient. 5. Avoid greed. 6. Think long-term. These habits of authenticity may not solve all the problems of corporate America, but they surely won't make them any worse, and they will make their practitioners a lot better. Authenticity, honesty and integrity do not conflict with financial performance. In fact, ethical, authentic leadership is the surest guarantee of long-term value. Takeaways. 1. Enron and WorldCom did the world a favor by focusing attention on the problems of capitalism so that people could start fixing them. 2. There's plenty of blame to go around. Shareholders, the press and the general public all share responsibility for the corporate scandals. 3. If we reward people only for increasing shareholder value, we can't expect them to be honest, too. 4. Authentic leadership demands a stakeholder orientation, not merely a shareholder orientation. 5. There may be a tension between ethics and performance, but there is no conflict. 6. Times of hardship are valuable opportunities to prove yourself and discover who you really are. 7. An authentic leader must have a deep understanding of self and purpose. 8. Great companies depend on teamwork. The CEO can't do the job alone. 9. Nonetheless, it's lonely at the top. 10. In the long term, honesty is the best policy. Please like, share and subscribe our channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.